This is KHTS Radio coming to you live from the intersection of Newhall Avenue and Railroad Avenue in Newhall, where unfortunately one person has been struck and killed by a Metrolink train right here at the intersection of Railroad and Newhall. For those of you who are traveling through the area, please expect some traffic delays as the entire intersection has been closed off. Due to the fact that one person has been killed, this is now technically a crime scene. We do see that the individual who was struck by the train has unfortunately still being laid out in the middle of the road underneath a tarp, and they have not yet been transported by the morgue. So this will take quite a bit of time to clean up. Once again, this happened approximately 20 minutes ago at this point. We do know that one person was struck by this Metrolink train, and this is a part of the AV line heading up to Lancaster, between Lancaster and Union Station. So if you know anybody who is traveling on the AV line, I highly suggest that you start looking into alternate routes of travel. There is no information as to the identity of the person who was killed as of this very moment. That usually takes a little bit of time, especially when it comes to the coroner's office, who has to release that information. And only after informing the parties next of kin will they inform the media. So we do not have that information as of this time. Once again, looking at KHTS Radio, we're at the intersection of Railroad Avenue and Newhall Avenue in Newhall. This is just south of Old Town Newhall and the Lyons Avenue area. So please, if you are in the area, do not try to travel down Newhall Avenue. You will not be able to get through, and they will not be moving this train for some time as they attempt to investigate and figure out exactly what happened here. We do not have any information as to the exact circumstances of what led to this collision and this person unfortunately being killed, but we will be looking into trying to find more information as the story progresses. This entire intersection at Railroad Avenue and Newhall Avenue is completely closed off and will stay closed for some time. For those of you who are unfamiliar with this area, this is just south of the Old Town Newhall area, and we are currently facing south on Railroad Avenue and Newhall Avenue, looking towards the 14 freeway, just to give you guys a little bit of a better idea of which direction we are looking. If you guys have any questions, you can go ahead and drop them into the comments. Otherwise, we're going to be here for a little bit just to give you guys a little bit of an update on the situation. However, since this is sort of a static situation with the unfortunate decedent, now law enforcement looking to investigate the situation and try to figure out what happened, and they have to interview the Metrolink conductor and other witnesses in the area. This will take some time. So your best bet is to please avoid the area. And please try to keep the family of the person who passed in your thoughts here. One thing we definitely don't need is more people showing up to the crime scene, just getting in the way of law enforcement. For those of you who are just joining us, just to give a recap of the situation, one person was struck and killed by a northbound Metrolink train heading through the Santa Clarita Valley here at the intersection of Newhall Avenue and Railroad Avenue in Newhall. We do not know the exact circumstances of the fatal incident. However, we will be looking for more information from law enforcement. As of this time, the Antelope Valley line between Union Station and Lancaster is expected to be delayed, and Metrolink is looking into alternate sources of transportation for the people who are on this train. Usually what they do when a train has to be stopped completely in a situation such as this is they will transport people off of a train and then offer either free Uber vouchers so people can get to the next train station and hop on another train, or they will actually bring entire charter bus down in order to get people to go where they need to go. So if you are on a Metrolink train, don't worry, you will still be able to get to your final destination. I had already mentioned this previously, but the identity of the victim is not available and will not be available until the next of kin is notified by the Los Angeles County Coroner Medical Examiner's Office. So you can keep an eye on that for the next couple of days over at KHTS, where after the next of kin has been notified, we'll be letting you know who the poor person who passed is. For those of you who are traveling on car throughout the area, as you can see, the entirety of Newhall Avenue is blocked And I can actually see on the left side of my screen, just past that sheriff's vehicle there are certain cars that are being rerouted through the neighborhood heading northbound. Southbound traffic is completely blocked. I highly suggest that if you need to get south of the railroad tracks in the Newhall area, try to take another route. You can go back up to Canyon Country and take Sierra Highway down, or you can go back up towards the Valencia Stevenson Ranch area and you can take the 5 freeway or the old road down through the Newhall Pass. But in general, just try to avoid heading south on Newhall to the 14 freeway. I'll go ahead and give you guys one more recap, and then we're going to close this live down and head back to the radio station. First off, thank you all very much for joining us. We definitely appreciate all of our listeners and viewers here in the Santa Clarita Valley as we try to get you some of the latest in Santa Clarita news. Unfortunately, one person was struck and killed by a Metrolink train heading north in Santa Clarita here at the intersection of Railroad Avenue and Newhall Avenue in Newhall, coming up on about 30 minutes ago now. Travel on the Metrolink train Antelope Valley line is expected to be delayed for quite some time, so I suggest that you guys get in contact with either Metrolink or start looking for other routes of transportation if you are usually using that. Besides that, there is very little information as to the exact circumstances of this individual's death, but we will be looking into more information. Thank you all very much for joining us. If you're not doing it already, you can head on over to our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KHTS Radio, and we'll give you the latest updates on Santa Clarita news. Some of you guys may have seen information on the fire that happened earlier today right over on there. You can also head on over to our website, www.hometownstation.com, or you can check out our newsletter and get the lowdown on all Santa Clarita news at the end of every day.